Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show off this Hearts of Steel Prowl that I've done. Recently I've really enjoyed the Hearts of Steel designs where the robots turn into the trains, the locomotives, and I think that's such a cool design. So here is my take on Prowl. For size comparison, here he is with Bumblebee. As you can see, Bumblebee is a bit taller than he is in locomotive mode. But their tracks are fairly similar. This is a track that I printed out from a file on Thingiverse. I've just scaled it down. These files, as you can see, that these tracks are similar, but Bumblebee's is a bit narrower. But as you can see, this sort of makes a cool scene right here with Bee and Prowl being locomotives and them sort of seemingly sharing a track. So let's take Prowl off the tracks and let's get into the details in alt mode. One thing I really enjoyed about this project is putting the rivets on the all over the modes. As you can see, it's all over the sides here. This is something I really love, the giving details to figures like that. And in future projects, given that it fits the aesthetic, it is something that I definitely would do. Another thing I really enjoy in this project is adding clear resin to pieces like I did in the previous two projects, I think, with the light piping. Now I've applied it to the sirens right here and the lamps on the shoulder as well as the blue light in Prowl's head. Let's just bring in Bumblebee again, just for size comparison, right before we turn him into the robot mode. As you can see, although he is shorter than Bumblebee, he is longer. So that's out of the way, let's get into the transformation. First thing you want to do is to unpeg these wheels from the side. In the final files of Hearts of Steel Prowl that I've put up on Cults 3D, the circular pegs have been turned into rectangular tabs. I think that's a lot better and easier for anyone who's printing it to line them up and assemble this and this together when converting back into locomotive mode. So after you've pulled the wheel holders out of the way, what you then do is press these two little wheels on the back and then just sort of angle these out for a second. You can just sort of pull the arms out, and there you basically have his arms done. What you then do is just turn them around. There is actually, you can just pull this chimney off. This chimney will become the gun in robot mode. There's a slider there. Take this whole piece, I find it easier if you grab it here, and then just shimmy it down. To the end of the slider, and then what you do is just rotate it and peg it into place. Then what you do is rotate him at the waist and peg these hip skirts, unpeg these knee covers, unpeg these legs, unpeg the heels that are on the side of the legs, rotate it on the double hinge, flip up the feet, rotate it forwards, and then flip down the knee cover again, flip down the hip skirt, and do the same on the other side. So pull down the heel, pull out the toe, flip it up on the double hinge, rotate it forwards, and then the hip skirt downwards as well. And there you have the feet. What's left is just to reveal the head, and to do that, simply take this at the double hinge, flip it backwards, and then just grab the head on both sides of the helmet. What might be easier is just to put your finger in this cavity and just push this head up. And that would work as well. Now, final thing is there's a flap in front of the face to cover it. Flip it downwards, and there you have Hearts of Steel Prowl in his robot mode. For Prowl's articulation, he does have the standard articulation that I put into my figures, except for one place, which is the head. The head, because of the size, I've just resulted in putting it on a peg, so it is just rotating on the swivel. His arms go all the way around. Goes up like that far, bicep swivel, bend 90 degrees, wrist rotation, and then opening fingers as well. He has a waist swivel. This can go up and down depending on your preference as well. The hip skirts can fold up, and then the legs can kick up 90 degrees, out that far, back as well. Hip skirts are on a hinge and rotation. Rotation at the thigh, bend 90 degrees. Because of transformation, he does have rotation on the ankles, and then toe articulation as well. For his accessory, he does have the chimney again, the chimney thing. I don't know what to call this exactly, but he does have this. That turns into his gun. You flip this peg up, and it will peg into his arm, like so. Let's get a 360 out of the way. One thing I hope that I was able to do was to make the sort of the heel pieces smaller, but if they fill in and transform into the middle of that locomotive, I'm completely fine with it. I think mostly he's quite kibble-free in the back. This is comic accurate. Actually, comic accurate is, he does have this chimney sticking out of the back as well. That is comic accurate. One thing that's not comic accurate is these wheels should be the other way around, so this wheel piece should be facing upwards and this hole should be facing downwards. But when I was designing this, I had a choice to make. So I either had these wheels out, so there's space for a pin in there for this to rotate upwards, or to keep this more streamlined, I would sacrifice this space, fold this wheel upwards, but then I would have this circular thing in the sort of the wrong way, and ultimately I decided to fold up the smaller wheel to make the streamline and focus on, you know, the circular piece as well. I don't think I made the wrong decision here, and I'm pretty happy with how he turns out. So here he is next to the Hearts of Steel Bumblebee, and as you can see, he and Bumblebee are around the same size, although in the comics he is a lot taller than Bumblebee. What I did was I got Hearts of Steel Bumblebee after I made this Prowl, and I was watching reviews and everything, and I thought that the Hearts of Steel Bumblebee would be a relatively small figure. I had no idea he would be this big. I thought he would be like the size of this Bumblebee, which would make him comic accurate. But no, this new Bumblebee is absolutely humongous compared to the other Bumblebees. Him and Bumblebee, I guess, with my print has to be the same size, but the benefit of 3D printing is that you could scale Prowl to however scale you want, and if you want him to be sort of comic accurate now, and you have this Bumblebee, I think 130% would do. Just bear in mind that the pins that I've used, the pinholes are 1.5mm, so you have to scale them accordingly. But this is my Heart of Steel Prowl. Final thought, I really like the design. I actually really adore how the wheel holders turned out on the side of his shoulders. I think he's a really cool compact toy that has a really cool design. I think I'd love to carry on with the Hearts of Steel toys, making Hearts of Steel 3D printed toys. I already have plans to make Megatron, just because of the amount of rivets that he's got. Plus, I haven't done a fully black and grey transforming 3D print yet, so he might be an absolute joy to figure out as I go along. I will make him big though. I will make Megatron sort of like an animated Voyager scale. The files are now out on Cult 3D, so feel free to go and check it out on there. The link is in the description below if you're interested. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and goodbye.